Once upon a time in a dense forest, there lived a clever fox. One day, as he was taking a stroll through the forest, he came across a crow. The crow was sitting on a tree branch, and in its beak, it had a piece of cheese. The fox wanted that piece of cheese very badly. She then took the cheese out of her beak and started eating it. The fox, who had been watching her, couldn't believe how clever she was. He had tried everything he could think of to get the cheese from her, but she had outwitted him every step of the way. The fox had to admit defeat. He had lost the battle of wits against the crow, and he walked away from the scene empty-pawed. So he started thinking of a plan to trick the crow and take the cheese away from it. After thinking for a while, the fox finally came up with a plan. He went under the tree and looked up at the crow and said, "Good morning, Miss Crow. How are you?" The crow looked down at the fox and replied, "I am fine. Thanks for asking. And who are you?" The fox said, "My name is Mr. Fox." "I am a friend of yours," the crow said. "I don't think I know any foxes." "Perhaps you are mistaken," the fox said. "Well, I know a crow who has something that belongs to me, and I think you might be her." The crow became suspicious. She thought to herself, "Why would a fox be up to no good? What does he want with my cheese?" But then she decided to play along and see what the fox was up to. She asked, "What do you mean by that?" The fox said, "Well, if you had a piece of cheese in your beak, then you must be the crow I am looking for." The crow kept quiet. She knew what the fox was after, but she didn't want to give up the cheese so easily. The fox, not knowing what to do next, continued, "If you are that crow, then give me the piece of cheese and we can be friends." The crow replied, "Why should I give you my cheese?" The fox said, "Because you are a bad crow and you shouldn't have stolen this piece of cheese from me." The crow was angry, but she kept calm and said, "How dare you talk to me like that? I will not give you the cheese." The fox thought quickly and said, "Okay, then let us settle this like men. Let us fight." The crow was taken aback by the fox's sudden burst of anger. She had expected him to beg for the cheese, but instead he was challenging her to a fight. She knew she wasn't strong enough to fight a fox, so she tried to stall for some more time. She said, "Wait here while I fly up to the top of this tree. We can fight from here and whoever wins gets the cheese." The fox agreed to these terms, and the crow flew up to the top of the tree. The fox waited below for some time, but the crow didn't come back. She was trying to figure out a way to get rid of the fox without having to fight. After a while, she thought she had an idea. She flew down to the branch below her and started pecking at it with her beak. As the crow did this, small pieces of the branch started falling off. The fox noticed this and said, "Hey, crow, what are you doing?" The crow replied, "Nothing much, just taking care of my nest." The fox said, "Well, be careful or you might fall down." The crow said, "Don't worry about me. I know what I'm doing." As the crow kept pecking at the branch, it became weaker and weaker until it finally broke. The crow picked up the pieces of the branch in her beak and flew away. The fox was left standing there wondering what had happened. The crow flew to another tree and dropped the pieces of the branch. From that day on, the crow kept the piece of cheese for herself and the fox never bothered her again.